Hello there, people of the internet. We've all done this. You go out, you watch a movie, or you watch a video review, or you watch something cool about a particular gun, and you're like, man, I would really love to have one of those. Like, for example, I don't know, you just watched a Civil War documentary and you're just fascinated by it and you're like, boy oh boy, I would sure love to have a muzzle loader in my collection because I just watched this documentary. That's kind of why I bought this, because I watched a Civil War documentary. You're gonna see a recurring theme here. Or what's another? Oh, I just watched this I don't know, Civil War movie, and this guy had an 1860 Henry, and it was so cool. Like, I want one. Let me go out and see if I can get my hands on one of those, and then you end up with something like this. What's another good example? I could literally just sit here all day. Oh, I just watched Enemy at the Gates. You know, it'd be great if I went out and got myself a Mosin Nagant. This particular one is a Mosin Nagant 9130, chambered in 7.62 by 54R, just like all the other Mosin Nagant rifles out there. The thing with watching media, like watching some cool YouTube thing about a gun, or watching some cool movie about a gun, or something like that, is even if you own the gun, after you watch whatever it is that you're watching, you're like, you know what, I know I already have one of those, but I have that gun buying fever now because I just watched this cool thing about this particular firearm. And I wonder if I were to look if I could find a deal. So although you already have a Mosin Nagant 9130, you're like, well, let me just go ahead and hop on the gun broker here and do the old low prices first and just see what pops up. And of course, you see all the Mosin Nagants there for like $550+, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. And then you come across one for $400, and you're like, oh, well, that's a better price than all of these others. It's still not great, but it's better. I'm likely gonna get that, but I'll keep looking. And then you find yourself a sporterized Mosin for like $350. And then you're like, I don't have a sporterized Mosin. Let me go ahead and order that and get it in. And then after shipping and transfer fees and taxes and everything like that, it comes out to be like $450 anyway, right? For this sporterized Mosin. And then you're like, alright, cool, I got my sporterized Mosin, and now I have two Mosin Nagants. And then the sporterized Mosin just kind of sits in the closet, because if you're going to go out and shoot your Mosin, you're going to grab your one that is intact. But it's always good to have another one, just in case, even if it is just sitting in the closet gathering dust. And then you watch some other movie with a Mosin Nagant. And then you repeat that process, and that is how I ended up with like 5 Mosin Nagants inside of my collection. And I know for a fact that it's something that we all do. We watch some kind of cool thing. Oh, World War II movie. Look, the Germans got the Kar 98. This one's a Yugoslavian Mauser. My Kar 98's in my safe, and I don't feel like digging it out. But oh, the Germans got the Kar 98, and for some reason, people think that World War II Germany is just the coolest thing ever. So they're like, I'm gonna go out and get myself a Kar 98, and the next thing they know, they're spending, you know, $1,200 on this shot-out, beat-up old rifle because it was owned by Germany back in World War II. I have no idea where this video is going. I just wanted to go ahead and call people out on this because I've done this. As a matter of fact, I did this literally yesterday. Was it yesterday? Nah, it was, oh God, it was a couple of days ago at this point. I got the gun in yesterday. Where is it? I think that this is it. I watched a cool video and a cool review of a Chilean M95 Mauser. And I was like, man, I would sure love to have one of those in my collection. I don't have an M95 Mauser. I got 93s, I got 96s, I got 98s, I got all sorts of different variations of Mauser, but the Chilean Mauser was just one of those that was not in my collection. I'm gonna go on Gunbroker and see what I can find. Now I'm even further in debt. And I got And I got this Chilean Mauser. I got a full-on video coming out on that thing if it hasn't come out already. One of the big ones is this one. You watch a World War II movie or Band of Brothers or something like that, and you're like, man, I'm gonna go out and see if I can find myself an M1 Garand, however it is you feel like pronouncing that. Is there a clip in this thing? Are we gonna hear a ping? Aha, we had ourselves a ping. That's awesome. Subscribe for the ping. But I know that Band of Brothers was one of the reasons why I decided to go out and hunt down an M1 Garand for my own personal collection. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who did the same because of that piece of film. Or maybe Saving Private Ryan was the thing that you decided to go for. Same thing with the M1 Carbine, however it is you feel like pronouncing that word as well. This one right here, 30 caliber carbine, PCC, great little gun. It's good and effective out to like 300 yards, which is beyond the capabilities of what most people are capable of shooting anyway. But great little gun. I probably would have not gotten one if it wasn't for like old school video games. I know I grew up playing like the original Call of Duties, like Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3, and then there was the Finest Hour, there was Big Red 1. Those were like my main go-to games to play back then. I was just always fascinated by the guns, and the M1 Carbine was definitely one of the ones that showed up a lot, and later on in life I was like, hey, I'm gonna get myself one of those. And so I did, and here I am. Bottom line, like I said, I think that we've all been there. We've played a game or seen a movie, piece of footage or something like that, and we're like, hey, that's cool, I like that a lot. And then there's others that are not very popular because they don't really pop up in games or movies or anything. Like the Egyptian Hakim, half the time whenever I show people this, they have no idea what it is, even if they are like gun savvy and whatnot. It's a semi-auto 8mm Mauser rifle. This particular one is Egyptian. I think I already said that though. But whenever I show them something that doesn't pop up in like media or movies or video games or anything like that, then nobody has any idea. I would like to see this in some video games. Like there's plenty of opportunities where something like this might potentially pop up with some of the video games that are currently being played, but I bet even the developers of the video games don't even know that those things exist. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that developers of video games oftentimes get their inspiration for their firearms based off of what is popular in the firearms community. And then there's games like Call of Duty Vanguard, where their gun play is just so bad. If you haven't watched any of that stuff, by God, lucky you. So I think that this is basically it. No real context for this video, no real value behind it. The main reason why I made this video is simply because I wanted to call people out on it, because I've done the same thing and I caught myself doing it again, and I was like, ah, God damn it, Sean. Get out of here, you. Alright, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below is a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garand.
Shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.